Do that. All right. All righty. Had an interesting Thursday night game last night with the Cardinals trying to have a late rally to come back on the Seahawks, but the Seahawks managed to knock them off 23-20, hitting a late field goal. Saw some interesting things in the game. The biggest thing, what's up with Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't know if he's lost his confidence or if he's going through something. Maybe he's in love. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him, but he's not on the same page with the quarterback, Kyler Murray. He's stopping on routes. The ball hitting him in the hand, and they end up turning into interceptions. All those are critical mistakes that put his team in a bad situation for somebody that's supposed to be as, I wouldn't say glorified, but somebody that's supposed to be as well prepared to play the game on the next level as he's supposed to be. He should be beyond all of that. These are the kind of things that he should have struggled with last year. But the tie to the game last night ties into what I want to talk about briefly today. And this is an extension of what we talked about yesterday, is the rookie quarterback. Sam Darnold, last year he was with Minnesota. He was brought in as an insurance package to back up what the Vikings thought was going to be the breakout year of their rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. But he gets hurt in preseason. So Darnold comes in, and lo and behold, he turns into a quarterback. He leads the team to 14-2 record all the way up to the last game where they played Detroit. They had a 14-2 record. The winner would win the division. And the loser would go on the road with a gaudy 14-3 mark. Well, kind of like, Cinderella? It would turn into, at midnight, turn into a pumpkin, wherever it was. That's what happened to Sam Darnold. He had a great year. At midnight struck, he turned back into Sam Darnold. Then he went to the first round of the playoffs against the Rams, and he remained Sam Darnold. Because of that, the Vikings decided, well, we better go back with McCarthy. Maybe this Darnold guy just had a fluky season, so we're not going to gamble on that. We're going to go with McCarthy. Well, he signs with Seattle, and lo and behold, he's got Seattle humming. What, they're 3-1 now, and the Vikings, they came out with McCarthy. He looked terrible. He looked terrible in the first game that I saw him play against the Bears. He came back and had his best quarter in the end, and that was enough to steal the game. But the people will start talking like he had already overcome his obstacles. But the very next game, he looked absolutely horrible, more horrible than he did the first time. And he ended up getting hurt. He twisted his ankle or something. He's going to be out 2 or 3 weeks. And I've been making the comment ever since that Minnesota, the fans, should be dancing in the aisles or wherever because this guy got hurt. Why? Because he's not ready to play NFL quarterback. And if you look at why he was playing, the looks on Justin Jefferson's face after some of those throws he was making and all that extra running he's doing without getting the opportunity to catch the ball, you know it was going to be a bad situation in Minnesota. But the injury actually saved them because that gave them an opportunity to go out and find anybody to help them out. So they bring in Carson Wentz, and last week, even though the Bengals are struggling, it looked a whole hell of a lot better than what they did under McCarthy. So to tie in everything that I'm talking about, the Vikings this week are going to play against Pittsburgh, and they're going to play in Ireland. I'm not getting into that. They're going to play against Pittsburgh in Ireland. And Tomlin was asked during a press conference his thoughts about facing Carson Wentz. And he pretty much basically said that he would rather face a rookie quarterback than a veteran quarterback like Wentz. And he gave the reference to what he went through last year in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I don't know if he was personally going out of his way to snipe at Richardson, but he did. He said, like in the case when they played the Colts last year, they would rather face Richardson. So he told his team during the week, make sure Richardson stays upright. We don't want to hurt this guy. We don't want him to see him get hurt no matter what. Because as long as he's out there playing, that gives us the better chance to win. He didn't want to see Flacco come off the bench and possibly beat them. Well, lo and behold, that's what ended up happening. Flacco came in, and the Colts ended up knocking Pittsburgh off. So he's got reason to believe that a veteran quarterback is going to be in a better position than a rookie quarterback to take down a seasoned team. And that applies because Carson Wentz, again, is replacing J.J. McCarthy, who's suffering from an ankle injury. And Tomlin would prefer that McCarthy was playing as opposed to Carson Wentz. So in other words, he's saying overall that veteran quarterbacks most of the time are going to be better than the rookie quarterbacks. And in his case, he definitely wants to see J.J. McCarthy because he knows, just like I've been telling you guys for the last 2 weeks, that this guy cannot play NFL quarterback. And evidently the rest of the league knows it. Kevin Connell, whatever his name is, he knows it. That's why he went out and got Carson Wentz. And the question is, will he start Wentz once McCarthy comes back? And if it was me, I say, hell yeah, you better start Carson Wentz, because if you ever expect to win some games, you got to have a veteran quarterback until this guy gets ready. So let him get the clipboard, sip some more Kool-Aid, and get some mental reps in, because right now he's not ready to play. And I can't understand why the Vikings couldn't see that in training camp. But then again, I can see it because, they don't really put these guys to the test. They just want to see, does he have a mastery of the offense? Can he get in and out of the huddle? Can he make the right reads? And you get all that stuff with repetition, and you get your mental reps when you're learning the playbook. I guess he did enough of that to impress the coaches. But the problem is, in practice, you don't really see any major blitzes or anything to go against. So you got some fire that you went against, but you don't see the real fire until you get to the game. So it is just like the teaching profession. You got a lot of teachers, they have these perfect interviews. They got the smile, and they convince the administrators that I'm going to do a great job, and the kids are going to love me, and we're going to learn. It's going to be great. Then when school starts to get in front of those kids and they can't handle them, and they start cracking up and falling apart. You couldn't see that during the interview process because there's no kids there. If you really want to have a decent interview process for teachers, have a class of students there and give them a lesson to go teach and see how they do. That's how you determine if there's going to be a good teacher or not. But to hire them because they smiley faces and they look the part and they sound the part, can they handle the kids? It's the same thing with this pro football stuff. You look great on film. You had a good college career. But when these bullets start flying in these NFL games, will you fold up? Will you crack up? Or are you going to play some football? Some people rise to the occasion that you never thought they would. Carson Wentz, he's been bouncing around a while, but he's got veteran experience. He has won a lot of games. So it would make solid sense for a veteran like him to start over McCarthy. But the problem is the fans know what McCarthy is making. The owners know what McCarthy is making. They want to get a return on their investment. So they'd rather stick him out there, even though he's not ready, and go with that. Because if they really want to win, they would have kept the continuity that they had last year with Donald and went from there. No. You drafted this guy, number one, and he's supposed to be the future. We got to see if he's the future. So we're going to risk everything that we've built up to this point and go back to square one with this guy here. And as long as he stayed in the lineup playing like he did, Minnesota was looking at a 3-15 season. And one of those was against the Bears. So maybe they upset somebody else anyway, somewhere down the line. I don't know. So the question I have for you, what do you think? Should a veteran quarterback always start over a rookie? Most of you are saying no. Well, I would say it all depends on the situation. But a guy like McCarthy, I never would have drafted him in the first place because the offense he ran in Michigan didn't seem to translate very much to the NFL. He looked the part. Looked like he can stand in there and throw the football when he had to, but I hadn't seen the part. It's like I'm telling you about these teachers. They come in and they can't do the job, but they have perfect interviews. They don't have any problem getting the job. It's just getting in front of the kids. The actual job is where they had a problem. And the same thing with these NFL quarterbacks. All right. I don't have my usual folks in here today, but 310 Man Roof says hi. I have to say hello. And I don't know what Gordo is talking about, but I'll say hello. And this is Islamic writing. I can't understand that, but I'm glad you peeked in to say hello. I'm just speaking about an extension of what we talked about yesterday with the rookie quarterbacks. Jackson Dart is going to get his first start this week, and they're going to throw him in a live fire against the Chargers. Right now, the Chargers are playing pretty good football. They're 3-0. They've come back. They played all division games. They beat Kansas City, held them off late. They should have lost to Denver. Denver couldn't hold the lead. And the Raiders, they aren't ready to play yet. Now, speaking of the Raiders, we're not talking about rookie quarterbacks. We're talking about that running back they got, Ashton Genty. The thing about him is he's not doing very well right now because the line's not blocking very well. A report came out yesterday is that this guy here, all the yards that he does have this year came after contact in the backfield. So basically what he's doing, he has to break a tackle in the backfield just to get started. That is unusual. If you're going to be effective as a back, when they say run downhill, you're getting off to a running start and you're going to hit that hole with some force. Well, he's not allowed to do that because the line is getting penetrated and he's getting hit in the backfield all the time. So 100% of his positive yards out of the backfield is after he makes contact with a defender in the backfield. That is unusual. That is something that that kind of stat line you will see in a high school that doesn't have a line. But for a professional outfit that can go out and get a line, that is ridiculous. And how you expect this guy here to produce if he can't even get started in a professional backfield? But I know it's hit or miss sometimes, but a running game lineman should be able to fire off the ball and at least push the pile a little bit. I mean, they shouldn't be get penetrated upon like that, unless, of course, the team is blitzing all the time, and that is not necessarily the case. And if this continues, then that will put this Raiders line as one of the worst lines all time in the NFL. Like I say, even some of the worst high schools, they don't get hit that far in the backfield every time. Sometimes, yes, or half the time maybe, but all the time? Come on, man. That don't even make sense. All right, Selmo, what's going on, man? I thought you had cut me loose today. OT Biliki Alimi, he said, "What's good, man? How you doing, man?" What you think about that game last night, Selmo? Marvin Harrison don't look too good, man. I don't know if he got something on his mind or maybe his pocket's full and he's satisfied like a Travis Kelce. Just not there anymore. The focus is not there. Well, one thing I can say about that, if his focus isn't there, this is a good time of historical period to play receiver because it can't really hit you like they used to. But if you got your mind somewhere else and you running across the middle, he's going to get hurt. But not today's football because they pull him back. They almost waiting for you to make contact with the ball before they reach out and politely put you on the ground. Whereas opposed to the old time safeties, they're going to run right through you to the ball. And it's that time if you're losing your focus, that's when you're going to get hurt. Case in point, last night, Murray put a pass right on him, hit him in the hands. He turned and looked to see where the defense was and lost control of the ball, pops up into the air, and it gets intercepted. He's worried about getting hit. And the defenders are worried about trying to hit you without getting fined or penalized or whatever. So I think Harrison, he's worried about the wrong thing. He needs to get his mind together. Now, just like Travis Kelce, he did the same thing against the Eagles. He dropped a touchdown pass on the goal line against Philadelphia, and it got popped up into the air and it turned into an interception. I made the comment before, Kelce is not hungry anymore. I know Kansas City is struggling, but they have to have him to break out of this struggle. In other words, Kansas City still has the weapons, but the weapons aren't producing. Yeah, I know Rashee Rice is out, and they're not running the ball very well, but Pacheco, they need him to run the football. Kareem Hunt is silently taking over his workload. And I think what Terry Bradshaw said about the Steelers when he played, they went back to back 78 and 79, Super Bowl 13 and 14. They brought the whole team back for Super Bowl for that next year. But he said you got the same guys, they just didn't have the same desire. And they didn't even make the playoffs that year. And I think that that's the same thing happening in Kansas City. They had so much success. Their bellies are full. Kelsey is about to get married to Swift. He could care less about this. He's just going through the motions. So what Kelsey needs to do is look at himself in the mirror and decide, do I want to play this game anymore or not? If he doesn't want to play, then he need to call Andy Reid up and say, look, I'm retired. I'm done. I just don't have the desire for it anymore. Otherwise, he's just going to keep hurting his team. And Harrison, he needs to get his head together because a young dude like him, he shouldn't be losing focus the way he did last night. And he did bounce back later on in the game and catch a touchdown pass, but that's something he should be doing all the time. All right. Good. How you doing, JC? The Seahawks end up winning, Selmo, 23-20. I think they kicked the field goal to end the game. But for the most part, I think Arizona, they moved the ball pretty well, but they're not clicking on offense because Murray and Harrison aren't on the right page. I mean, he tried to hit him on the out route for a first down. He kept running. He threw a little in route to him. He stopped on the route. That got picked off. So he was attributed to the 2 interceptions that I saw Murray throw. Just Harrison himself running bad routes. And looks like he's got something on his mind. I wonder if he's in love. Cooper Lemon says start Jackson Dart. Well, he's going to start. And he's going to get the Chargers right away. And Jim Harbaugh is going to have some kind of games they're going to play against him. So they're going to throw him into the fire. They almost have to because Dabo, starting out 0-3, pretty much he already know that he's going to be out the door unless they get on this historical run and make a playoff. Dabo is going to be out. So why not go with the rookie quarterback? Because if you don't play him this week and they end up going 0-4, then Dabo probably never would be there when Dart hits the field. So Dart, just like these rest of the guys I'm telling you about, they look pretty good in practice. Preseason, they look well, but that's all vanilla stuff. Now it's real. What's Dart going to do when the real bullets start to fly? But you got to find out now. Corey B says Kelsey's mind isn't focused on football. Yeah, I know that. Once he got involved with Taylor Swift and that stuff started taking it off, it was just a matter of time before he started to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And then he got a good rapport with his brother. They be on that podcast sometimes. And maybe he wants to do that. Maybe he wants to spend more time with Taylor. Maybe he's thinking about, should I get married at all? But, he's engaged to get married. He'll probably get married sometime next year. So he's got a lot to think about other than football. But whatever he does, he needs to make a decision and let the Chiefs know what he wants to do. But at the same time, I think the Chiefs, if they really want to get on track, they need to call Miami and make a deal for Tyreek Hill and bring him back. He needs to get out of Miami in a bad way, and they need a deep threat receiver in a bad way. Then they need to go get a running back, and then the Chiefs going to be just what they've been the whole time. All right, y'all remember in 2018 when the Bills started their rookie quarterback and he threw 5 picks? Well, that's the danger of putting the rookie out there. He's going to get picked off. Even Peyton Manning, he struggled as a rookie. Most quarterbacks do struggle as a rookie. I remember Marino. He started out pretty well. Marino actually came out damn well, and his second year took his team to the Super Bowl. So there are prodigies at this thing that just come natural to you, and you won't never know until you put the quarterback out there. But like I said, they have to start Dart in this situation because Dabo, his hands are tied. He already knows he's standing on the on the execution block. He's gonna be gone anyway. It's just a matter of when they're gonna squeeze the trigger on him. But if he can pull off 2 or 3 wins and Dart plays well, even that hurts him because the ownership might think, well, look, hell, you see this guy in practice every day. Why are you just not figuring out that he probably could have helped us? You know, so that's just a further indictment on him. In other words, it don't make a difference what Dayball do at this point. He's damned if he do and damned if he don't. So why not go out shooting with the rookie? All right. Winston is a good choice as long as he has improved on his interception. Well, he's kind of like Brett Favre. He's a gunslinger, and he's going to hit you with a lot of big plays, but he's also going to kill you with a lot of big plays. If you ever got the control of that interception issue, then Winston could actually be a pretty good quarterback. But now that quarterbacks can play the 38, 39, 40 and not have too much of a drop-off, maybe by the time Winston gets 36, you get rid of all those damn interceptions. But I doubt it. It's that contract. I don't know if the Chiefs won't on their payroll unless Miami offers to pay half. Well, I don't know how they work it all out, but I think that it doesn't really affect them a whole lot until the next year on their salary cap. So whatever he's penciling in with Miami and vice versa, it won't affect a trade at all unless you re-sign him for a new deal. But I still think that maybe it was a good move to leave Kansas City in the first place for Hill because he wanted to get paid, which he should have got paid, and maybe he wanted to see if he's good with other teams other than Kansas City. But now that he's got all these troubles in Miami and Miami is struggling, hell, it's time to jump. He's got some kind of domestic violence thing. I think he had a problem with his wife. We got divorced or something. I'm not quite sure what he's going through, but I heard that. I read that. And it's time for him to get out of Miami and go somewhere else. Mahomes need him, and that would be a good shot in the arm for the Chiefs. It's still a dangerous team. They're going to be right there. And you're going to see this weekend when they play Baltimore that they're still going to be right there. Now, the only thing that the Chiefs cannot do, if they can't run the football against Baltimore, because you see they like pouring water through a sieve with big ass holes in it. That's the Ravens defense. If they can't run against them or try to run against them, then they won't be able to run the football all year. And I think that's an indictment on today's football. A lot of teams don't want to run the football. They rather stand back there and throw it all day and look pretty. But if you really want to win football games and wear teams down, run the ball at them. Did you see how demoralized the Ravens defense were last week, the other night when the Detroit ran through them? And that's football. You want to wear the other team down. It's kind of hard to do when you throw. Now, case in point, these high schools, everybody wants to do what everybody else is doing. They want to go 3, 4, 5 wide and throw. Well, even the sorry-ass teams are doing the same thing. They got no personnel. They don't have a line. They don't have a quarterback. But yet, because that school down there is doing it, we should be able to do it too. So what's happening is they go 3 and out. The defense give up a touchdown. Okay, no problem. You go 3 out again. They give up another touchdown. And you go out 3 and out again. Now your defense is tired. And by the end of the 12-minute first quarter, your team is down 28-0. You got no hope of coming back. The only thing that saved these guys from really getting demoralized and killed is the running clock. If it wasn't a running clock, you have some high school teams getting beat by 100 points every week. And I am not kidding when I'm telling you this. But the coach said, this is what I want to do. Regardless of what the personnel tells me I can do, I'm going to do this. And I don't give a damn if I give up 100 points. I did what I wanted to do. Look like a damn fool to me. All right, the Giants are cooked. Here they are. Dayball is cooked too. Seahawks, they survived last night. My team, Buffalo, we're about to get right this year. Yeah, you're going to get right. I know one thing, you can't expect to fall down in the hole like you did against Baltimore and expect to come back. Yes, you whipped the Jets. Yes, you whipped Miami. But there's some teams out there waiting on you. And my team, the Steelers, I know people didn't have faith in Aaron Rodgers, but I'll tell you about Rodgers. If you keep him standing up and they're able to run the football and the defense keeps improving, they're getting a lot of turnovers right now. That's going to be a hard out. Now, Buffalo's had Pittsburgh's number the last couple of years, but eventually things turn. And like I say, if Rodgers is able to stand up, it's going to make it very interesting for the AFC playoffs. But this is a big week to see where people stand. That Kansas City Baltimore game is huge, and Jacksonville, they're standing at 2-1, and they're going out to Frisco. If they're able to get by Frisco, and Frisco has been dominating them the last couple of times they played, they got Kansas City coming back next Monday. If they're able to beat San Francisco and beat Kansas City, Jacksonville, they're going to have the confidence to have a good run because the AFC South was not a good division this year. The Colts, I know they're 3-0, but that's a fool's goal, 3-0. Put a little pressure on Jones, he'll revert back to what he was before when he fell apart down there in New York. So a lot of football to be played, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Greg Ruffin say we would beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, you probably would beat Pittsburgh in the regular season. But you know that Buffalo tends to fall apart in the playoffs. I can't argue with you about who can win. I think Pittsburgh can beat Buffalo. You think the Bills would beat Pittsburgh. One of us is right. But I know one thing, we'll be able to run the football, and we ain't fixing to give up no 25-point, 15-point lead in the fourth quarter. So, like my college coach used to say, all teams have a character. And if your character is falling behind and hoping that you come back, eventually it's going to turn around on you. So Buffalo, they better tighten up, man. So I'd be interested to see how it goes. But me, I like to see Pittsburgh win, but in reality, I don't give a damn if they win or not because I don't get paid on Tuesday like they do, man. So you got to understand that. But anyway, the thing about Cook, though, Cook is like Derrick Henry, a smaller version of Henry. You got to hit him before he gets started. If he gets by that initial tackle in the open field, now you got a problem. But if you wrap him up in the hole, just like Baltimore did when he was trying to run the ball, you got him. Now, he did slip loose against Baltimore on that long pass play, and he did the same thing against the Jets. You'll have to stop him before he gets started. Cook is a dangerous player. All right, listen, I got to get up out of here, man, but let me answer these what you're saying here. My boy Jonathan Taylor from the Colts, carrying my fair. Yeah, he's playing good football right now. I like the way he's playing, and he's actually saving Daniel Jones. A good running game is a quarterback's best friend. Gaurav Gar says, "What up, bro? How you doing, Gaurav? And your running back is a 1,000-yard rusher. Who you talking about, Cook? Well, shit. 1,000 yards is not what it used to be, Mr. Ruffin. If you got 17 games, you got 17 chances to get 1,000. He's averaging 65, 70 yards a game to get 1,000 yards. So my point is this. You're watering down the system, and then when the guy get 1,000 yards, you celebrate him. But take OJ, when he got his 2,000 yards or whatever it was, that was a 14-game season. So OJ was averaging damn near 200 yards a game. Big difference from a guy averaging 70 yards a game. All right, Mr. Chicken Strip. He must be in England. Great performance. Okay, all right. You're talking stupid. Anyway, I got to go to work, man. That horn went off. I got to go in and sign in. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And I just wanted to let you know what Tomlin said about those rookie quarterbacks or young quarterbacks. I prefer to face them than a veteran, which to me is obvious. And most of you guys, you think that a veteran shouldn't always start over a rookie, but just like everybody else, you're on the fence about it. It's about 52-48 split there, and that's probably where it is in real life. Most people, depending on the situation, they're going to make that decision. In this case, Dayball, he has to start Dart because he's got no other choice, and he's going to get fired either way. Might as well put it all out there before he goes. And I think that's the situation there. But in a case with this guy McCarthy and Carson Wentz, it makes solid sense to start a guy like Wentz because the way McCarthy is playing, he's playing like a true rookie. I know it's his second year, but he didn't play last year due to injury, and he looks like a rookie, looks like a double rookie to me. I'll put it this way. The way he's looking, I am with this. The way McCarthy is looking in Minnesota is the way Arch Manning is looking at with the Texas Longhorn. Greatly overrated, greatly overhyped, but Manning looks like a high school quarterback, and McCarthy looks like a seasoned college quarterback. And I'm going to leave it at that. So wherever you guys are in the world, You have a great day. Greg Ruffin, who's going to win? Baltimore, Kansas City. I think Baltimore is a better team. So we're going to find out about Baltimore. If their character is to fall apart every game, then they'll lose. But I think Baltimore beats Kansas City this time. But if they play in the playoffs, take Kansas City every time. All right. So I got to get up out of here, man. My damn timer went out. So you guys have a great day. I got to get up out of here. I'm out. What a great time for the damn light to go out.